Welcome to Higher Level Gaming. I'm Katie.
And I'm Rob, talking crap about Elden Ring, guys. I just want you
It's
to know
not
it's as enjoyable for me as playing it. That's
quite
why
as fun as seeing what's in the hole in the Forgotten City.
Katie's about
But
to go in the hole in the Forgotten City at the bottom of the map. If you guys know what we're talking about, it's like one of the last quest lines. So that's pretty exciting, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
today we're here to talk about Elden Ring.
Oh, I just wanted to be clear. Yeah, for me, guys, it's as fun to talk shit about Elden Ring as it is to play it, which is why I haven't uploaded any gameplay yet, because I'm just having too much fun trashing the game.
Today we're talking about how Elden Ring has failed black players, as said by Ash Parrish on The Verge.
Do we agree with Ash Parrish?
All you have to do is look at this picture of this character and you know for a fact that we were failed.
There's literally only one black hair option in Elden Ring. Unless, of course, you want to have a buzz cut, because that is a universal haircut.
Unfortunately, if you are black and you want to play Elden Ring, you get misshapen afro or bald. Those are your only two options.
Or you could just put on the weave, man. Like, that's really what they're saying. Like, just use white hair.
And there are plenty of games that do that, like Dragon Age, for example. I don't remember having a good amount of black hair options, but it hurt less to put on just like the basic, European hairstyle.
Black hair being hard to animate is a ridiculous excuse, especially when you look at some of the monsters and creatures in Elden Ring. They put an insane amount of work into every little enemy in these games. It does not make sense that they couldn't include more black hair. In fact, they really could have just imported black hair from Demon Souls, because Demon Souls had more black hair options. I'm sure the company that did the remake wouldn't have minded.
Also, haven't they been saying that like curly hair or black hair is too hard to animate for years and years now?
Somebody should have got on that by now.
Surely the graphics and technology has developed to where we can include the blacks.
It's like how every 6 months Overwatch tells us you're going to be able to play as a black woman Sojourn in Overwatch in very shortly, but it's been years. That's right, I'm still bringing it up.
But
Part of the reason this is such a fail is because Dark Souls is one of the games that allows you to color your character whatever color you want them to be. You could go from like Piccolo green to SpongeBob yellow.
Kirby pink.
So it's messed up that there's no black hair. This can't be the only way. Now, Parrish also talks about how you can create basically a character, whatever features you want, you can put on that character. The facial features are another aspect of the game that is extremely customizable.
And this is just a problem that has existed for video games for a long time. Like, I remember when I was playing The Sims 3 even, you had to have a mod for black hair. You had to have a mod for your skin tone because they didn't have that many options. And when they expanded those options to multiple skin tones, it was like a really big deal.
So yeah, maybe it's not something black people have always demanded, so there are some white people out there who are like, oh, why all of a sudden, like, this is such a big deal? Like, no, it's just now that it exists, it feels like really lacking when it's not there.
Right.
Because back in the day, yeah, it was more acceptable. Like, even during Dragon Age, like you were saying, like, you don't expect it to exist at that point, so it's less of a letdown because it's the norm back then. But even Animal Crossing offers black hairstyles nowadays, so there's really no excuse.
Right. How is it that a game where you are the only human to live in a town full of animals has better black hairstyle options? Like, another popular argument is that because this is a Japanese game, why should they or why would they include that? Well, for one, there are black Japanese people. Also, black people definitely make up a significant portion of gamers.
Worldwide! Like Pitbull, bro. They're a worldwide company. They release their game in a global atmosphere. So even if they had the argument that, well, it's only for Japan, I feel like, Yakuza games, I feel like they even have, like, more black hair, and they're, like, totally Japanese AF.
Right. I feel like I've seen better looking afros.
In Yakuza.
Yeah.
And that's, like, as Japanese as you get. So that's just a bad excuse.
They're releasing this game globally, so I believe that they know that there are lots of black people. It's not just Japanese people, obviously, that are going to be playing this game. As a gamer, it's demoralizing. There has been progress. For example, Cyberpunk comes to mind. Cyberpunk, the hair in that game for the black characters looked amazing. I was like, wow, finally.
Bro, they're even getting beat out by Dynasty Warriors, bro. What kind of whack garbage is that? And of course, if you just say that you're disappointed that you're not included, there are plenty of white people there to tell you to STFU.
Ain't no dragons with swords and giant crabs in Japan. What are y'all talking about? Like, really though? Like, that is why every time someone is like, it's a fantasy game, it's stupid. It's like, okay, it's a fantasy game. So, yeah, black people didn't have to make up a significant part of the population back in, the Middle Age for us to get an extra black hairstyle.
And Yami Diz really got me in the first half. I thought he was going to say something really toxic. Listen to this. The studio making the game is a Japanese studio. It's like, alright, we already know where this is going. A country where they don't even attempt to hide their racism and xenophobia and consider it part of their culture. Ho ho! He really got us. He really had us in the first half. Sadly, inclusive/representation is not even debated in Japanese companies. Yeah, it's pretty controversial even to talk about like women's issues in Japan, so that's not surprising.
This goes to show you that black people were around in the medieval times, so yes, it does work for the setting. Meanwhile, other games are decades ahead. Big ups to Horizon because we play as a white woman, but look at the black hair in this game. It is phenomenal.
No buzz cuts around here.
This how they got us looking in Elden Ring. Also, I just want to say to the argument that black people need to make games for black people, how are black people even gonna make it into these industries if they aren't even like considered or shown in video games at all? I think that just goes to show you like how the gaming industry in general thinks of black people.
Look at Demon Souls remake, bro. Look at this. There's no excuse.
So they actually went backwards.
They took black people backwards, guys. Come on.
Wow, he looks so good here. Like, what happened?
And of course, the hatred is endless. Yeah, the discourse is just so bad. I don't understand what the hell Isaac is saying. Like, what hairstyles would he have liked included? I feel like they did a wide range of hairstyles for straight hair textures. I don't know.
Here's another good point. Black people rely on custom character games more than others because there are far fewer games with black leads. So that's like usually why I'm so excited to play a game that lets me customize my character, because I can make that character actually look like me versus every other single game I'm playing where they look literally nothing like me at all.
Let me try to think of a game you're playing that they look like you. Hold on. Half-Life Alex. No, she's pretty light-skinned. Damn.
I remember being like 8 years old, right? Or 9. I was like 9 years old, and there was this cover of Game Informer, and it had this vampire girl on it, and it was for this RPG, like, it was like for a tabletop game, but a fan art of a black woman, and she was like a darker skinned black woman. And I remember like I saved that shit and I kept it, and I was obsessed with it because I was like, wow, they made like a black woman, like not like light skinned, but like an actual darker toned black woman. And like still to this day, I have not seen fan art like that.
That's why representation matters, because it's more powerful than you would think. It affects people in ways that you don't understand if you're represented. There are more games nowadays that do represent black people, but it's still in no way common.
I think that games in general that give players the option to create their own character should give enough variety in hairstyles and skin tone to where you feel like you can create a character that represents you. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is an issue or a non-issue? Do you think that they will address this? What games do you think do a good job of representing black hairstyles? This has been a gaming news update by Higher Level Gaming. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe for more videos like this or just give us a like, that really helps. Don't forget to go play some video games.